This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. Minister of Social Services and Urban Development Obi Wilshcombe says the National Food Distribution Task Force has come to an end. The program was first introduced last year to provide emergency food relief to Bahamians and residents impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The minister told reporters that he finds it difficult to know that the government spends more than $8,000 a week on food purchased through a second-hand retail supplier, adding that the government has to find a better way.
It would make more sense to have warehouses of food and calls for the distribution, and we can buy them directly from the manufacturers or producers of the factories. Why are we spending an incredible amount of money going through second and third parties when it's costing the state so much and still not getting as many people the food as I'd like them to have? 17,000 we're told were fed. My thinking is you have much more than that who are suffering, and so we have to find a better way to do it.
The program was supposed to end in August last year. However, it has extended several times since then. At the peak of the program, an estimated 57,000 households was relying on the task force. The minister adds that he has declared a war against poverty. Today, Minister Wilshcombe, along with the Minister of State, Lisa Ramming, visited several social service centers.
One of the things I'm deeply concerned about is to see the Bahamian people, many elderly, sitting on the outside waiting for services. That's not appropriate. That's unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. And I wanted to know why. Because we'd introduced the credit card system, and that system had much success. I want to know why it's taking so long now for the needy to get the credit card, and on the one hand, and on the other hand, why it's been stopped in some areas. So we're looking at that and seeing how best to move to reduce the problem we're seeing outside is hot, and to see the elderly and others sitting out there waiting to be served. I think we have to get this all correct. People still believe that we're the ones to be served when we're the ones who're supposed to be providing the service, and these people here are not looking for a favor. This is a commitment by the state.
Minister Wilshcombe says the government will have a program on stream in the coming weeks. Whatever has gotten into the hearts and minds of the nation's youth and young adults has been wreaking havoc on Bahamian families and the society as a whole, as we record one murder after another. On Wednesday afternoon, 2 more young men stood before the courts facing charges of murder and attempted murder. Appearing before Chief Magistrate Joanne Ferguson Pratt was 20-year-old Jcn Ambrister, aka Fat Boy, and 18-year-old Dimitri Thurston wearing a gray Tommy Hilfiger jacket. The particulars are that on September 18th, Ambrister and Thurston caused the death of Devontae Brown and the attempted murder of Alverd Butler. The pair was also charged with possession of an illegal firearm, together with the intent to endanger the life of Alverd Butler. Ambrister and Thurston were not required to enter a plea. Both Ambrister and Thurston, who were supported by their mother, were denied bail and remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections and will return to court on December 15th for presentation of the voluntary bill of indictment. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation says the government's #1 priority is getting the economy up and running, and a major part of that is to increase the number of stopover visitors to the Bahamas. Just before the weekly cabinet meeting on Tuesday morning, DPM Cooper spoke with reporters on major investment projects around the country, including on Grand Bahama and Paradise Island, that were left on the table by the former administration. He was asked how the new PLP administration will approach them.
We're going to be having a detailed briefing this week on all of the investments in the pipeline. I've indicated before that we are investment friendly. Our focus is to get more investments faster. We are going to be streamlining that process as well to make it more expedient. And our objective really is to get shovel in the ground on as many of the projects as possible. If it makes sense, if it fits our government policies and priorities, we're going to proceed with them.
Mr. Cooper says the government is supportive of the home porting concept and says the new government is working diligently and will have more to say about the overall economic strategy in the coming days. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.